Hey again, it's Christina from Sunshine and Flora. So I'm in the studio today working with the Dahlia tubers that I have been rooting. And as you can see, they are definitely ready to start taking cuttings from. Now, this is a project that I did last year and I had really great success with it. Taking cuttings from your Dahlia tubers when you have been rooting them helps you multiply your plants to up your stock of dahlias. So not only do you get to multiply your tubers over the season and then you will have extra plants for the next year, you can start them early, take cuttings, and multiply your plants that way. And this also will give me a head start on the growing season. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to go through and I'm going to take the cuttings off that are ready and I am going to start rooting these cuttings. Now the supplies that I need for this project are pretty minimal. I need a sharp edge, which you can use a scissors, or I like to use a razor just because I think it's easier to make a sharp cut. Whatever you use, you want to make sure it's clean. I need a seed starting tray because that's what my plugs are going to go into. I need a humidity dome to put on top because I want to keep them nice and moist. And then you need whatever you are going to root your dahlias in. 2 years ago, I used regular potting soil and rooting hormone. I didn't have very good luck. Last year, I used these plugs. They're called Root Riot, and I had like 100% rooting germination, 100% luck, however you want to say it. It worked so much better for me. So I'm doing the same thing this year. I got these off Amazon. I'll link it down below in the description. They're pretty economical and they worked awesome. Now these are from last year, but they're still very moist, but I probably will end up misting them as well because I remember doing that last year. So these are the Dahlia tubers that I started way back on, I'll put the date on the screen, I can't remember, but it was quite a while ago and they were a little slow to get going. I think I ended up doing the same exact thing this year as I did last year. I was scared to overwater them because I didn't want them to rot in the soil. And then I didn't water them enough and they were a little slow to get going. But as you can see, they've really taken off. I threw one away last week that I could tell that was rotten. And then I have one right here that hasn't been doing anything. So I think it's just a dud. I'm going to throw that away. And then in this Cornell pot, one is growing, one is not. So I'll probably pull this one and throw it away as well. But all the others are looking really, really good. So we're going to go through and take the cuttings off of these tubers today. And then these are actually going to go back on my grow shelf under my grow light and they will just start growing again. And I'll let them grow on, probably pot them up. And once it is nice enough outside, these will get planted in the garden with growth on them. And I'll just have a head start for the growing season. And then the cuttings that I take, these will start rooting. I'll pot those up and those will go out in the garden as well, produce tubers and flowers this year. And I'll just have that many more plants for next year. So let's go ahead and get started on this. Now I need to make sure that I make a tag for each one because the current tag is going to stay with the tuber, but I also need a tag for my cutting. So the first one we're going to do is Diva. I love the Diva Dahlia. It is such a pretty color and the blooms are such a great size. They're a pretty good producer for me, but it's one I have every year in the garden. So we're going to start with this one. I'm going to do one and then I will zoom in close up so that you can see a lot closer. But basically you can see this one had one eye and so it has one growth point. I want to cut this right where the cutting meets the tuber as close as I possibly can. You want to make a nice clean cut and they're really easy to cut. So I'm just going to take my razor and slice it right off. So here's my cutting. So this tuber is ready to go back under the grow light. Now I don't need to have all of these leaves on my cutting. So I'm going to peel the bottom ones off. Those can just go in compost. This is what my cutting is going to look like. Now we'll get one of the Root Riots out. The top of the Root Riot plug does have a little bit of a hole there. You know what? Let me grab a pencil. This will work even better. This is one of the garden stakes that comes with the perennials that you buy. So I just want to kind of make sure that the hole is nice and ready for the cutting to go in. Last year, I remember a couple of them when I put it in, it ended up breaking my cutting, and I don't want to do that. So I have, I've kind of made sure my hole is okay. And then all I'm going to do is stick the cutting down into the plug till I can feel that it's not going to go anymore. And that's it. That is literally it. And then I'm going to put it right in my tray here with the tag. And that's it. That one's done. It is so easy. Let me move the camera in closer so you can see a detail. So this one is also Diva. It's a good looking cutting and a really nice good looking tuber. So I'm going to take my Root Riot plug and just make sure that the hole is okay, which it is. I'm going to take my razor blade and right where the cutting or the growth point meets the tuber, I'm going to cut it off. So here's my cutting. Now I'm going to peel these bottom leaves off. So now here's my cutting, and I'm going to just put it right down. You know what? I'm going to make this one a little shorter. There we go. Okay, here's my cutting. It was curved at the bottom and it was just kind of hard to press in. So I put it right down into the plug, and that's it. Now this will go in my seed starting tray. This is probably one of the quickest projects that I have to do this time of year, but it is so satisfying, and it's really exciting that just by starting these early, I'm going to get so many additional plants of all of these great varieties. This one happens to be Cornell Bronze. I tried to pick varieties that I knew were really good producers because that's really what I want to have in my garden. Because my goal, of course, is to get as many cut flowers during the season as possible. So I really like to plant plants that are heavy producers. This one is Sylvia. Other times it's called Marin or Marn, M-A-A-R-N. This is probably the most productive dahlia that I have in my garden. It just gives loads and loads of blooms. They are bright orange. They're absolutely beautiful. Perfect fall color. Okay, another one done. They're so cute. I'm going to go ahead and get these done, and then I'll show you where they'll go under the grow lights and what they look like when I'm done. All right, you guys, just popping back in here quick. I have 5 cuttings left. I found that I had some rooting hormone on my shelf. I'm going to do a little experiment. The first 5 that I did have no rooting hormone. The last 5, and I'm going to put them in a different row and mark the tag, I'm going to use the rooting hormone on those. So I want to compare how the cuttings do in the plug without the rooting hormone and with the rooting hormone. So I'll make sure to update you on that also when I give you an update on how these are growing. All right, time to get these finished. Okay, all of my cuttings are taken. They look really, really good. I mean, these are just the cutest things. And wait till you see the roots coming out. You'll see nice white roots and they grow out of the plug. That's when you know it's time to start potting them up a little bit. Here are the rest of my dahlia tubers. This is the ones I'm going to throw away. And I did notice on a couple of these, the Sylvia one in particular, I took the cutting from here. There are 2 more eyes that are just starting to pop some growth on this side. So I think by cutting these off, it's going to give this tuber strength for those other eyes to start growing. And these will be really nice plants once I actually can put them out in the ground. So that's really exciting. So these are going to go on the grow shelves. These are going to go on the grow shelves. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, you guys, so that's going to do it for this video. You can see I kind of had to rearrange things to get them on the grow shelf. In about a day or two, I will have plenty of room because all of my ranunculus and anemones are going out in the hoop house in the next couple days. That will free up an entire grow shelf for more seeds to be started, which is perfect because tomorrow's March 1st and I have a whole list of seeds to start. So watch for a video coming up on that. I also have kind of a vlog style video of just random garden tasks and things that I've been doing that is probably going to be a compilation of a couple weeks. I'm working on that and I'll have that coming out really soon too. So anyway, stay tuned for all of that. Hope you guys are having a good February and we'll see you soon.